Sandy says read. Welcome to the channel. This evening we are going to do a review and discussion of The Magic Scarf by M.K. Browning. Get the glare off there. Oh, I can't get the glare off of it. Oh, you guys. It's a very shiny book. Hang on. Is that better? You can see it there? Okay. There is a sunburst behind our main character and a glowing orb that she's carrying. So the glare is, oh, that's nice right there. Okay, The Magic Scarf by M.K. Browning. This is a young adult novel, and I've got the specs for it right here. This is book 1 of the World of Dagries series. It was published by Howling Wolf Press in September of 2023. It is edited by Ellen Holder. The map inside here is by Alyssa Hulbert. And let me show you the map. The map up there for you guys to see. Nice, right? See, check it out. Isn't that kind of cool? Very nice. I don't know if I can't see the screen when I put the book in front of it like this, so hopefully you can see some of the detail. It's very nice. Okay, well, let's see the rest of the specs. The cover design was by myblart.com. I might not be pronouncing that correctly. I've not heard of that particular service, but myblart.com. This particular version is 372 pages. And considering it just came out in September, of course, this is the only version, right? Unless, I'm sure it's available in Kindle. We'll look that up, and I'll have that in the drop-down box for you guys. Let's see. I should read the back cover for you. Wait, we'll do a nice review of this. I do have my notes here. I know I sound a little bit rambling, but let me read the back cover for you. Magic, once unleashed, has very unpredictable results. 16-year-old Alyssa Chance O had been called many things, magician, sorcerer's apprentice, even witch, but nothing had prepared her for being called a failure. After botching her first solo spell, where she only partially reanimates her grandfather into a voice in a toy jack-in-the-box, Alyssa has to set out to find and return a Griffin King's magic scarf, or else he will take over her family farm and do something unspeakable to her grandmother. But that sneaky scarf is not where the king said it was, and now the only way to get to it is through a dragon's lair. Accompanied by some of the strangest creatures the world of Dagries has ever bred, Alyssa is determined to find the scarf and bring it back before the king kills her granny and takes over her family farm. So this is a young adult adventure treasure hunt story. The young lady, Alyssa, goes on a quest, and she's got a time limit on that quest. There's a deadline, and the stakes are high. So this is an adventure with, with all the elements of a high stakes quest in it. That's what we have going on here. I wrote down Alyssa's blood is only part O. Her last name is O. So she can only bring her grandfather part way back. And that's how this thing begins. It just starts off right off the bat with Alyssa having to, she feels she has to bring back her grandfather. She wants her grandfather back, and he has recently passed on. So she's using magic. I marked the page for you guys. She's using magic to bring him back. But she doesn't realize she can't. She can only do so much, right? Okay, so I've got, as we do with these reviews, I'm going to read you a little snippet. So I've got this marked out for you guys. Chapter 1, The Spell. Losing a loved one to death is terrible. Bringing them back has other assorted issues. And when it's your own flesh and blood, well, necromancy has its limits. Alyssa Chance O tensed against the problems before her. She stood in her family's log house in her bedroom, turning about once or twice, trying to assess things. The house stood like a pinprick on the river's edge, a mere smudge in the grand scheme of the whole of Dagries. But it was her entire world, the only home that ever mattered, and her family, grown even smaller recently, needed her to take charge. And that's the catalyst. There we go. We're off to the races. This girl, she wants to be a magician. She wants to have magic the way other members of her family, namely her grandfather, has magic. Her grandfather's name is Pappy. So Pappy O is the grandfather. He's the patriarch of the family, and she wants to bring him back. And she's not able to bring him back all the way. So she brings him back partially as a voice, as an entity inhabiting this Jack-in-the-Box toy, right? So throughout the story, there are some comedic moments, with the Jack-in-the-Box toy, of course, but overall, he's a helper, he's a confidant, he's a guide. Sometimes he's a voice of reason, although he does like to take a lot of naps. Yeah, so there's a very good message in there about family, I think. At least I picked up on a very good message in there about family and having, a patriarch or, a guardian with you. I really liked that concept throughout. What else did I want to? I wanted to mention that the concept of going on the quest in this book is cleverly done. We don't just have Alyssa going on a quest and, retrieving an item. We have Alyssa having to help her grandmother because Alyssa, she was using magic to begin with, and she opened a portal and she brought something back through that portal that actually harmed her grandmother. And so she wants to help her grandmother. She goes to the Griffin King and says, "Hey, I need your tears to heal my grandmother." The Griffin King is like, "Only if you go get my magic scarf." And thus our adventure is going to begin. So Alyssa makes a deal with the Griffin King. He uses his tears to heal Granny. But if Alyssa doesn't get that scarf and bring it back by the deadline, then he's probably going to just go ahead and kill Granny and take over the farm and take over, the servants who work on the farm, all this stuff, right? He's not really a great guy, okay? The Griffin, he's not really a great guy. He's kind of pompous, kind of a blackguard, right? Okay, so Alyssa has to go off on this journey and she has to get the scarf back. Well, the Griffin tells her it's with such and such person. So she goes to such and such person, but that person doesn't really have it. So she has to complete different tasks along the journey to getting the scarf, right? I mean, it's that kind of a treasure hunt, just one piece after another piece after another piece. It builds and builds and builds until she finally has all the pieces that she can then take back to the different folks. So I'm not going to give away everything. I'm not going to spoil the whole thing because it's a cheerful little story that I would recommend to young adults. And so I don't want to give away everything. But I do want to read something for you guys to give you a taste of the writer's writing style. I marked this page. Where am I? I marked page 226 for you. The beginning of chapter 14, Troubled Tales. So I'll give you just a feel for what Alyssa has to go through constantly in this book. She's constantly having to reprove herself and retell her tale. She's constantly having to stand up for herself and speak her mind to these folks that she runs into and these folks that she has to strike deals with, okay? So here we are. Alyssa stared deeply into the wizard's eyes and saw no deception there. Her words truly alarmed him. "Now hold up a minute, wizard. I ain't your enemy. You come here unannounced, powerful magic at your command, and say to me that the scarf is something you are seeking. How can I take that for anything less?" "Well, first off," she said, raising her hand in peace, "I don't want to fight you for the scarf or nothing. I need it to serve a purpose. Maybe once you hear my story, you'll understand." He pointed the staff at the others at the table. "Are you aiding this girl in this endeavor? Are you my enemies?" They shook their heads. He sat again, pulling his robe closer. "There are evil ones afoot. Who knows where these days? I can take no chances." Brian said, "I am here with my kinsmen to exact blood money for the murder of my father and his page, my brother. Their spilled blood is the fault of Madrid and Rhaegon. The scarf has played a part, yes, but I have no designs to forcibly take the scarf. I've been unaware the scarf was magicked until recently." The wizard lifted his brow and stared at Lord Brian as though seeing all the way through him. "But you do desire it." So she even as she's trying to explain herself and stand up for herself and make deals with now a wizard, she's got other people on her team that she's had to stand up to and bring to her side who she can't really fully trust. I mean, there's double crossing and triple crossing and all the things are happening in this book. All the things. Is that everything I needed to tell you about it? Were those all my notes on my piece of paper? Yeah, I put from Griffin's Tears to Dragon's Gold. She goes through a whole lot of it. I mean, she has to get teeth from, oh, I forgot the creature she got the teeth from. She has to go through a lot of little mini quests along the main quest for the main treasure hunt. Yeah, well done. Alyssa's journey is a big one, so I can recommend The Magic Scarf by M.K. Browning for your young adult reader in your life. And that's all I've got for you guys. Thumbs up for big, fabulous, fantastic quests. And please click the bell notification icon so that you're notified each time I do these random things here on the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in.